My name is Leona Ziswanda. I was born and raised in Bulawayo, Zimbabwe. I come from a family of 9 children and I'm the second of last. I was born biological male. I don't remember being taught or influenced by other girls to be feminine presenting. All this happened naturally. Growing up in primary as a pretty boy with feminine traits was very difficult for me because I remember I just couldn't fit in. Now that we're told that they are boys and girls have their roles and boys have their gender roles, I just couldn't find my perfect spot. I remember other kids bullying me and telling me how come you look like a girl and you're wearing a boy's uniform. For me, I just didn't have the right answer that led me to be confused on what's going on. Who am I? How come I'm wearing a school uniform that belongs to boys, but I live and express naturally like a girl? All the other children, they saw that in me and it always had to be questioned. After high school, it became worse because now everywhere that I went, everything was about female and male. The papers that you carry, when you're applying for jobs, when you're applying for school things, it's always about female and male. So I was that boy who was like not really a boy. I was not the perfect boy, and also I was not the perfect version of a girl. So for me, it was a struggle. I just couldn't be counted as normal. Even if when I went to church, I remember at some point I was told that I need deliverance, but all that never happened. I remember at some point I ended up wanting to commit suicide. I tried, I think if it's not 2, 3 times, but all my attempts never prospered. I started to breathe when I discovered the word transgender. Transgender is an umbrella term for people whose gender identity does not match with the gender assigned at birth. For example, in my case, I was born biologically male, but I live and present naturally like a woman. Trans women, vice versa. Someone can be born female with a vagina, but then you see them living and expressing naturally like a man, trans men. And gender does not only end there. There are other genders like non-binary and more. I started to feel connected to myself after discovering such terms, and now I started to live and tolerate and embrace who I am. In African countries, transgender women are called demon-possessed. People who have mental problems, people who just don't know who they are. But I ended up accepting the fact that I am transgender because according to my research, personal research, I discovered that when you are applying for other opportunities, let's just say for example going for a cruise ship, you find that on the gender part where you apply, there are options. There's not only restricted to female and male, but there are others and non-binary. I also discovered that in other countries, gender is not specifically given to people because of the organ that they are born with, right? But gender is policed according to what we see when we look at you. For example, let's just say I go to the Home Office and I want to apply for an ID. There are other options besides female and male, which are non-binary, if I identify as such, blank, X, others. You choose how you like to be identified in society, just because sometimes you find that your gender roles, your character does not match with the gender identity given at birth. That male doesn't match what this looks like, so I'm able to give an idea that speaks about me being non-binary or others or blank or X, however I want to identify, as long as it is not male. That will cause contradictions in society when going to get services, from service providers, at banks, when traveling at the border posts, they will not get confused because my gender identity on the card that I'll be carrying, ID card, will speak specifically. I also discovered that in Mexico, transgender women are called mushes. Mushes are said to be fortune. Ne? If any family has a mushe child, that family is fortunate because the mushes are the one that get to take care of the parents when the other brothers and sisters have gone to their marital homes. These mushes remain behind and take care of their parents. Taking the parents to clinics, cooking for them, washing their clothes, and making sure that they are safe. What breaks my heart is the fact that transgender women are killed, transgender women are bullied, transgender women are chased out of home, transgender women have no place in society. That on its own breaks my heart. I think about the parents that have transgender individuals in their home, the oppression that they face like almost every day when they go to churches, in community, funeral places, that's so heartbreaking. I wonder if we in Africa had some sort of identity towards trans individuals, give them papers, give them something that speaks about them, because the struggle is real. There is currently no job opportunity I've never heard of any not organization, any place where they've hired a transgender. There's nothing, no hope, no life, no nothing. The only thing that you can ever do in social places, we are chased out or bullied or even killed for that matter. That breaks my heart. The parents that have to cry for their children that they've lost to transphobia, that breaks my heart. We have to come to a point whereby we think about that we are all humans, we are all people, apart from gender identity and all that. We have to come to a point where we sit together as communities and celebrate our diversity. We have to come to a point where we say it's not the difference that should matter, but it's the blood that runs within a person's body that should qualify the person to be called human. If God once sent a donkey in the Old Testament to give direction to a man who was heading the wrong direction, God can also use me today to say, let's stop killing transgender people. Transgender people are human beings just like everyone else. God created everything. There is nothing that is not created by God. To parents who have transgender children, I want to advise you to keep your children safe at home. Don't chase them out of home, because outside there is a wilderness. It's very dangerous. Trans people cannot survive on their own. It's so dangerous. If you're a transgender and you're under the influence of my voice and listening to my story today, I want to tell you to accept yourself. There is nothing, totally nothing wrong with you. That's just who you are. Secondly, find a safe space. If it's at home, stay at home. Don't go around to parties and all these other strange places. Trust me, they will kill you. I've experienced it. I once lost a friend to transphobia, and that's the reason why I'm here today. The society at large and everyone watching me today, I encourage you to be very kind to the transgender community, knowing very well that it has never been a choice to be transgender. We have parents that have transgender children. Parents don't choose whether they want a gay child, bisexual child, lesbian child, pansexual child, whatever kind of a child, even a transgender child. Parents only make love and have children. That are a gift that is coming from God. And every family is supposed to live in peace and in harmony, without any form of stigma and discrimination. Until next time, lots of love, your girl Leona. Goodbye, world.